what's happening in their bodies, and it would be nice to predict their future. Everyone asks, how long? You know, what do you expect for the future for these girls? Well, I expect them to live healthy, normal, happy lives.
Abby and Brittany Hensel are known as the smiling, inseparable conjoined twins. But behind their cheerful faces lies a shocking chapter from their past, a truth darker than anyone expected. Their lost life isn't just a rumor, it's a haunting part of their story. Could their celebrated bond hide pain too deep to reveal? Let us uncover the shadows behind their brightest smiles. A secret awaits, one so raw and gripping you won't believe what's about to unfold. The mystery of Abby and Brittany Hensel. Abby and Brittany Hensel, the conjoined twins who've spent their entire lives under a magnifying glass, are known for their smiles, positivity, and unshakable bond. But let's not sugarcoat it. Their unique lives have been treated like a spectacle. The world's fascination with their every move has turned them into walking curiosities, with whispers and theories about a so-called darkest secret from a lost life fueling the intrigue. Is it real, or is this just humanity's obsession with drama? Either way, it's a juicy idea to unpack. But here's the twist. A forgotten letter, an old photo, and a cryptic diary entry may hold the key to a revelation that could change everything we think we know about Abby and Brittany. Born in 1990, Abby and Brittany share one body, two heads, and what many would call a resilience that defies logic. They each control one side of their body, a coordination feat most of us can't comprehend. Their reality TV appearances and interviews paint a picture of cheery, determined sisters who tackle life's challenges together. But here's the thing. When you're famous for simply existing, people start creating their own stories about you, and not all of them are rainbows and sunshine. Rumors about a lost life or hidden past have circulated for years. Internet sleuths love spinning tales about the unknown, and Abby and Brittany's lives are ripe for speculation. The term lost life has a certain mystique, suggesting a chapter of their history cloaked in shadows. It's easy to see why people are drawn to this narrative. The twins' public persona is so polished that some assume there must be a darker, messier reality lurking beneath the surface. One angle people love to explore is the emotional toll of their shared existence. Sharing a body means sharing everything, from daily routines to life-altering decisions. Every step, every movement, every plan requires total cooperation. The strain of that kind of constant togetherness could drive anyone to the edge. Do they ever feel trapped, resentful? These questions fuel the idea that their unity might mask deeper struggles. Then there's the question of identity. Abby and Brittany have always been portrayed as a harmonious duo, but what happens when their individual desires conflict? As they've grown older, issues like relationships, careers, and personal aspirations have likely tested their bond. It's not hard to imagine moments of frustration or longing for independence. Could this be the dark secret everyone's whispering about? Maybe it's not a secret at all, just the reality of being two people in one body. Another theory making the rounds dives into their early childhood. Adjusting to life as conjoined twins would have been no picnic. Medical challenges, surgeries, and constant stares from strangers were likely just the tip of the iceberg. The twins' family undoubtedly faced gut-wrenching decisions about their health and future. What if this lost life refers to a chapter of trauma or hardship they've chosen to leave behind? It's not far-fetched, but it's also their story to tell, or not. Some speculate that their darkest secret might be tied to societal pressures. As public figures, Abby and Brittany have been molded into symbols of positivity and perseverance. But maintaining that image must come with its own set of challenges. Imagine constantly being expected to inspire people while navigating the complexities of fame. Do they ever feel like they're playing a role? Like they're not allowed to have bad days or show vulnerability? If so, that's a heavy burden to bear. The most tantalizing theories go a step further, suggesting that the twins' connection isn't just physical but deeply emotional and psychological. Living as conjoined twins means every decision, big or small, requires compromise. What happens when those compromises don't come easy? The idea of unspoken tensions, unresolved conflicts, or moments of bitterness is pure conjecture, but it's also very human. No relationship is perfect, and theirs is arguably the most complicated one imaginable. The role of public scrutiny is impossible to ignore. Abby and Brittany's lives have been an open book for decades. They've shared their milestones and challenges with the world, but there's a fine line between openness and oversharing. It's possible they've had to hide parts of themselves to maintain some semblance of privacy. This concealment could be misinterpreted as a secret when it's really just a necessary boundary. Not everything needs to be shared, and not every unsaid thing is a scandal. The idea of a lost life might also be more metaphorical. Abby and Brittany have achieved so much, but their path was never going to be typical. It's natural to wonder if they've ever thought about what life might have been like if they weren't conjoined. Do they ever dream of having separate bodies, separate lives? If they do, they've never publicly dwelled on it. Maybe it's too painful. Maybe they see their connection as a gift and don't waste time on what-ifs. Either way, it's a question the rest of us can't help but ask. Fascination with the idea of a dark secret might reveal more about us than it does about Abby and Brittany. People love a good mystery, and when someone's life is as extraordinary as theirs, the absence of obvious drama feels unnatural. We crave complexity, even when it's not there. It's entirely possible that their darkest secret is that there isn't one, just a series of ordinary struggles magnified by extraordinary circumstances. Abby and Brittany's story isn't about secrets or scandals. It's about resilience, adaptability, and living a life that's uniquely their own. They've built careers, pursued their passions, and maintained a bond that most of us can't even fathom. Sure, their lives come with challenges and complexities, but that doesn't mean they're hiding some dark, dramatic truth. Their so-called lost life is likely just the parts of their story they've chosen to keep private. And who can blame them? In a world that's been watching their every move since birth, they're entitled to hold some things close. Whether or not there's a darkest secret lurking in their past, one thing is certain: their real story is about strength, unity, and living life on their own terms. To fully understand the complexity of Abby and Brittany's journey, it's essential to look beyond the obvious. Their childhood alone was a whirlwind of medical appointments, media attention, and societal pressure. Decisions about surgeries and how they would navigate life together weren't just family matters, they were public debates. People have long speculated on what these early years must have been like. Did their parents ever grapple with guilt or doubt? Did they face criticism from outsiders who didn't understand their choices? These questions might never be answered, and maybe they shouldn't be. The twins' family had to make impossible decisions in an extraordinary situation, and the consequences of those choices likely shaped the trajectory of Abby and Brittany's lives. Their teenage years were another chapter packed with unique challenges. While most teenagers wrestle with identity crises and social pressures, Abby and Brittany had to navigate all of that while sharing a body. Picture trying to fit in at school when you're constantly being stared at or whispered about. Despite these challenges, they managed to lead remarkably normal lives. They graduated high school, pursued higher education, and even became teachers. Their ability to carve out a sense of normalcy in such an extraordinary existence is a testament to their determination and the support of their family. Their professional lives add another layer of complexity to their story. As educators, Abby and Brittany chose a path that requires patience, understanding, and the ability to connect with others. It's a career that speaks volumes about their character. However, being in such a public-facing role also means they're constantly under scrutiny. How do they handle disagreements in the workplace? Do they face discrimination or skepticism from colleagues or parents? These are questions that, while intriguing, are ultimately nobody's business but theirs. Then there's the question of romantic relationships, a topic that has fueled endless speculation. The twins have largely kept this aspect of their lives private, which has only intensified public curiosity. How do they navigate dating? Is it even something they're interested in? These questions highlight the limitations of public understanding. Just because their lives are different doesn't mean they owe the world an explanation for every personal choice they make. Public fascination with Abby and Brittany often borders on invasive. people project their own fears, curiosities, and assumptions onto the twins, turning them into symbols rather than individuals. This dehumanization is part of what fuels the idea of a dark secret. The truth is likely far less sensational. Abby and Brittany are human beings with strengths, weaknesses, joys, and struggles, just like anyone else. Their lives are extraordinary, yes, but they're also deeply personal. The world's insistence on uncovering a hidden truth says more about our collective obsession with drama than it does about them. Their story isn't about what's been hidden or lost, it's about what's been achieved, and that's something worth celebrating. Their smiles hide a life you could imagine. Let's look closer. High school friendships and finding independence. The future remains uncertain. The new footage hints at potential health issues that could be on the horizon, and it is hard not to worry about what might come next. The Hensel twins have faced more challenges than most people could imagine, and they have done it with grace and resilience. But the reality is that their shared organs are under constant strain, and as they get older, those challenges are only going to get tougher. Their medical team is keeping a close eye on things, but there is no denying that the stakes are high. Through it all, what stands out the most is these sisters' bond. They are not just siblings, they are partners in every sense of the word. They support each other through the tough times, celebrate the good moments, and face every challenge together. The footage captures some truly touching moments between them, moments that show just how deep their connection goes. It is a reminder that, no matter what happens, they will always have each other, and that might just be their greatest strength of all. Growing up, these siblings learned to swim, run, and even play sports like volleyball. Watching them participate in physical activities, it becomes apparent just how much practice and effort it takes for them to achieve what most take for granted. Every movement requires cooperation. Every action requires planning. When they run, one controls one leg and the other manages the other. Imagine having to trust someone so completely that even the simple act of running requires you to be in perfect sync. Yet they do it, and they do it well. In their teenage years, a time that is challenging for any young person, but especially so for these two. Navigating friendships, school, and social events as conjoined twins came with its own set of unique challenges. There were moments of frustration, times when they disagreed on what to wear or how to spend their time. One memorable scene shows them getting ready for a school dance. One wanted to wear a blue dress while the other preferred a green one. It might seem trivial, but for them, it was a significant compromise. In the end, they chose a dress that had elements of both colors, a symbol of the constant give and take that defines their relationship. Their high school years were also marked by achievements. They learned how to drive, something that many thought would be impossible. The footage shows them practicing with their driving instructor, learning how to coordinate their movements to operate the car safely. One twin was in charge of the pedals and gear shifts, while the other handled the steering. It took hours of practice, patience, and a few setbacks, but they eventually got their licenses. The pride on their faces as they held up their driver's licenses was unmistakable. It was a moment of independence, a testament to their determination to live life on their own terms. Their decision to pursue a career in teaching was another significant milestone. After graduating from Bethel University, they began teaching 4th and 5th graders. The footage shows them in action, standing at the front of the classroom, engaging with their students. Their teaching style is dynamic, with each sister bringing her unique strengths to the role. One, with her detail-oriented nature, focuses on explaining concepts clearly, while the other, with her more relaxed demeanor, makes learning fun and accessible. Together, they create a learning environment that is both structured and enjoyable. Their students love them not because they are different, but because they are genuinely good teachers. The footage captures moments of laughter in the classroom, students raising their hands eagerly, and the sisters working together to answer questions. It is clear that they have found their calling, and despite the challenges, they are making a positive impact on the lives of their students. One particularly touching moment shows a student giving them a handmade card that reads, "Best Teachers Ever." It is a simple gesture, but it speaks volumes about the kind of educators they are. However, the new health concerns hinted at in the footage cast a shadow over their future. As they get older, the strain on their shared organs becomes more pronounced. Their liver, in particular, has been a focus of concern for their medical team. The footage shows them at a doctor's appointment undergoing tests to monitor their liver function. The worry on their faces is evident, but so is their determination. They have faced health scares before, and they have always come through stronger. But the reality is that their bodies are unique, and that uniqueness comes with risks that are difficult to predict. The footage also touches on their emotional journey. Living as conjoined twins means that they have never had a moment to themselves. They are together all the time, and while their bond is incredibly strong, it is not without its challenges. There are times when they argue, times when they need space that they simply cannot have. One scene shows them sitting quietly, each lost in her own thoughts. It is a rare moment of stillness, a reminder that even the closest of relationships need breathing room. Despite these challenges, the sisters have found ways to maintain their individuality. They have different hobbies, different tastes in music, and even different groups of friends. The footage shows one painting, a hobby she loves, while the other prefers to read. It is these small acts of independence that allow them to express who they are as individuals, even while sharing one body. Their friends and family have always supported this, encouraging them to pursue their own interests and celebrating their differences. The support of their family cannot be overstated. The footage provides a glimpse into the sacrifices their parents have made to give the twins the best possible life. Their mother talks about the early days, the sleepless nights spent worrying about their health, and the countless doctor visits. Their father, ever the problem solver, built custom furniture and equipment to accommodate their needs. Their siblings too played a role, treating them no differently than anyone else. It is this unwavering support that has helped them become the resilient, independent women they are today. The twins are now addressing critics in a way that leaves no room for misunderstanding. Facing public scrutiny. Twin sisters are speaking their truth to the critics. These well-known conjoined siblings have taken to social media to respond to the ongoing chatter, particularly about one's marriage to Josh Bowling. They recently shared a TikTok picture of the newlywed featuring an audio clip that captured their perspective perfectly. The point? If someone dislikes them but keeps following their every move, they're still a fan. The pair's direct approach to calling out hypocrisy shows that, despite the critics, they can't seem to look away. This isn't their first time addressing the noise from the internet. Back on March 28th, they shared another TikTok, subtly addressing negative remarks. The video displayed ancient sculptures of conjoined twins, accompanied by a caption reminding viewers that they've always been here. It was their way of highlighting that they are not a novelty but part of history. Conjoined people have always existed, and it's about time society accepted that. These exceptional sisters have spent much of their lives in the public spotlight. They first gained major recognition in 1996 on The Oprah Winfrey Show, where they shared insights into their unique experience. Lately, a lot of the online chatter has focused on one's marriage to Josh Bowling, a nurse and U.S. Army veteran. People are intrigued, and not always positively. Some ask questions, while others make rude comments, implying that the life choices of one impact both, or expressing disbelief that either could have a normal relationship. But the reality is that marriage hasn't changed who they are or their shared life. It's clear her sister fully supports the relationship, and they continue their journey together as a team. To doubters and critics, they have one simple response. They're not living for the approval of strangers on the internet. It's amazing how these women have remained composed despite all the criticism. It's worth noting that they are both now fifth-grade teachers. After all they've endured, they've chosen to contribute to their community by educating young minds. Imagine having teachers who have overcome more by their 20s than most people face in a lifetime. Their dedication to the classroom is truly admirable. They face judgment and overcome it, choosing to inspire instead. Their students get to witness resilience, teamwork, and determination firsthand, lessons that no textbook can truly capture. Dicephalic parapagus is an uncommon and extraordinary form of conjoined twinning, where two heads are side by side on one body. This occurs when a fertilized egg fails to fully divide during the early stages of development. Essentially, it's like two individuals trying to exist within a single body, and how they share organs and limbs determines their quality of life. It's not just about surviving birth, it's about discovering how much of a typical life is possible. Conjoined twins occur in about 1 in 50,000 to 100,000 births, with dicephalic parapagus twins making up around 11% of these cases. In this kind of conjoining, there is one body with two separate heads. They may have two hearts, which greatly aids survival. Other times, they have only one heart, complicating things. The number of limbs can also differ. They might have anywhere from 2 to 4 arms or 2 to 3 legs. Each case is unique, adding complexity. Often, dicephalic parapagus twins are stillborn or die shortly after birth. It's a tough situation because when vital organs are shared, risks are extremely high. Yet not all hope is lost. Some dicephalic twins survive and reach adulthood. Separating them is not always an option, especially if they share critical organs. The decision really depends on how interconnected their organs are, and even then, it's a risky procedure that could lead to disaster for one or both twins. Doctors have coined scientific names for these twins based on the number of limbs they have. Twins with 2 arms are called dibrachius. Those with 4 arms are tetrabrachius. This is simply a classification of how many limbs are present. While it might sound technical, it's essentially a way for doctors to comprehend what's happening within the shared body. The medical field hasn't always been compassionate toward dicephalic twins. In the past, there was debate about whether they should receive medical help at all. Some argued it was better not to treat them due to the difficulties they'd face and the risks involved. Thankfully, attitudes have shifted significantly. Today, there's more support and emphasis on quality of life, not just survival, but ensuring they have a chance at a fulfilling life, even if it's very different from most people's experiences. This condition is rare and complex, fraught with medical and ethical challenges. Most dicephalic parapagus twins do not live long, but those who do can lead extraordinary lives given the obstacles they face. Medical advances continue to improve our understanding and management of this rare condition, but it's always a challenging journey for the twins and their families. In a 2003 documentary, these sisters spoke about their desire to become mothers someday. It was a touching moment that resonated deeply, showing that despite their circumstances, their dreams are much like anyone else's. They want careers, relationships, and perhaps a family. But the internet often complicates things. People ask invasive questions or make judgments, forgetting that these two are real individuals with emotions, not just an online spectacle. For those who can't see beyond their curiosity or choose to be rude or judgmental, the sisters have a straightforward message. They aren't seeking anyone's approval. They aren't asking for permission to live their lives. In a society obsessed with appearances, they serve as a powerful reminder that there's much more to a person than meets the eye. Do we judge too quickly, or are we just afraid of what we don't understand? If you enjoyed this discussion, like the video, leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe.